Hey guys, welcome in this new video. Today I will give you a dropshipping masterclass A to Z. What does it mean? Exactly as the name suggests, I'm going to take you to all the processes of dropshipping from the beginning till the end. So at the end of this video, you know exactly how to start your own dropshipping business. Now, you can see the screen before me. Here I have 8 steps that I want to talk to you about today. First one is the intro and mindset. After that, I will tell you what dropshipping is exactly, product research, competitor research, store building, fulfillment process, creatives, and launching ads. As you can see from beginning to end, we have all the steps here. So I promise you that if you watch the whole video, you know how to start and you can start today. Let's start at the beginning, the intro and the mindset. Now, before we begin, I want to tell you more about myself. Who am I? My name is Sam. I'm a coach at Millionaire Commerce. For almost 2 years, I was one of the first students ever who joined Samuel. Now I'm a 7-figure entrepreneur and I've coached above 100 people to get crazy results like above 15K days, 100K months, 200K months, everything. And because this business model, it is possible if you deliver the work. So it all depends on how much work you put into it. And for many people in the beginning, they are skeptical. Because you see those crazy amounts, but is it really possible? Is it true that you can do this? Yes, it's true. But like I said, it all depends on how much work you put into it. And the same was for me when I was getting started. I thought in the beginning, it was like a quick rich thing. So I was just getting started and then after that, the results would come in. That's not the case. You need to work for it. You need to earn it. But if you work for it, you really earn the results. And you will see that back on your bank account and your profits. And eventually, your life. So now I know a little bit more about me, but I also want to talk more about your situation because I think that when I was getting started, it's pretty similar to where you are right now. Let me guess, you are interested in e-commerce, but you don't know where to start. You already watched a lot of videos, but there are so many things on the internet, so you don't know where to start, where to begin. That's exactly why I wanted to make an A to Z video, because for completely beginners, and even if you are more advanced, you can watch this video so you know what to do and which steps to take. So yeah, like I already told you, how did I get started? I was also searching online because I was also interested, but I didn't know where to start. Eventually, I stumbled upon bol.com. That was my first e-commerce business. And it was already profitable, but it was not scalable. And that was something I wanted for the future, of course. So eventually, I did bol.com besides my study and besides my job. I was working at the gym, I was going to school, didn't know what to do with my life after this. So I was just trying all kinds of things. But the bol was the first step. But like I said, it was not scalable. So I needed to find something else. So eventually, I decided to take a big leap for me and join Samuel's course. Now, that was something very major for me because it was a lot of money at the time, but I thought investing in myself is never a bad investment. And it paid off. In the beginning, I needed to work for it. But eventually I started seeing results and went really fast to the 6-figure months. And after that could scale up really fast. And that changed my life. And that's why I'm sitting here right now with the confidence that I can tell you, you can also do this if you are willing to put in that work. So yeah, and then I also come upon the expectations. Like I said, the results, you can get them, but you need to put in the work. That's why I really want to set good expectations, because you can only reach it if you really do it the work. If you are somebody who gives 50%, you will get 10% of the results. If you give 100%, doesn't always mean you get the 100% result. If you give 200%, like every day, do everything you can in your power, then you will always reach it eventually. But it all depends on how much you are willing to sacrifice for it, and how much you are willing to keep investing and keep learning. Now, the first step is watching this video. So I'm very happy that you're here. And yeah, let's go to the next chapters. Okay, now I already told you what you will learn. You will learn the process from A to Z. All the small steps in between, I will go through. Okay, 2 things that are very important if it comes to mindset. And I want to start with this, because if these 2 things are set in stone in your mind, then there is no way you will not succeed. And the first is your why. What is your why? Your why is the thing, like the name also suggests, why you are doing this, why you are working hard, why do you stand up every day? If this is clear as day for you, so your purpose, your real purpose why you're doing this, there is not a thing in life that life can throw at you that you cannot overcome. For example, for me, It was freedom to go wherever I wanted to go and when I wanted to go. And I know a lot of people also have this same vision for themselves. I love to travel. I love to travel with my family, with the people I love. But it was not possible because I needed to go to school, I needed to go to work. So that was something for me major. And I really wanted to put gratitude that I have to the people that I love. I wanted to give them back to them. So how can I do that? By giving them the opportunity to travel the world together with me. That was something for me, that was something I really wanted from a very young age. And I finally could do that, but I needed to first know why I wanted it. Why am I standing up, even if days that I'm not motivated? Why am I doing it? I know it because I do it for the loved ones. I do it for my loved ones and the freedom that I get if I keep continuing. And I'm certain that you also have something in your mind, a purpose. While you're watching this video, what do you have as a goal for yourself? Look, I'm not talking about my loved ones, but I also have material things, of course, that I wanted. I wanted a nice car. I wanted a nice watch. I wanted a nice house. Everything was also part of my why. Because from a very young age, I always liked nice stuff. And I always had the feeling I want to buy it someday. But when? To make it a reality, you need to work for it. But yeah, all these things are part of my why. And my why is so very clear: freedom. Because the freedom to buy things, the freedom to go where I want, the freedom to go when I want. Because that's so clear for me, it doesn't matter what happens, I can continue. And I want you to also think for yourself, do it after this video. You can even pause it right now and think about it. Why you want it? What is your goal in life? Write that down, put it somewhere in your room and read it every time that you wake up and every time that you go to bed. That way, you think about it all the time. And like I said, whatever happens, it doesn't matter because you know why you do it. The second thing is your vision board. Now, we're talking about the why, so why you're doing it, but the vision board is very important. Why is that? Because the universe works in strange ways. Everything you say, everything you think becomes a reality. For example, if somebody talks negative to himself, I cannot do this, I'm not able to make it. If you talk that way to yourself, eventually it will happen. You will not make it. You will not get it because you rewiring your mind. You make your mind think that you cannot do it. The same way is in a positive way. I can do it. I will do it. If you keep talking like that to yourself, you eventually will do it and it will become a reality. So, a vision board, what is it? A vision board is your goals, your vision, together in a board. So what you can do, for example, the dream car, the dream house, the freedom, the dream vacations, then print that out, put it somewhere in your room so you can look always to it. Be honest with yourself. If you now think about this, you're just thinking about your dreams and the dream car, the dream house, everything, it already feels good, right? You're already thinking about the goals, you're already visualizing it. And eventually, if you keep doing it, it will become a reality. If you keep believing you are going to make it, you print it out, you stay loyal to your why and your discipline and your motivation, there's no way you are not able to make it. So this is the first to do I will give you, and I highly recommend to do that right away after the call because it will change your life. All right, second chapter. What is dropshipping? Now, I'm certain you already heard a lot of stories about dropshipping, but what is it exactly? And why does it got the name it got right now? Dropshipping is very easy. You don't work with stock. So it means it goes straight from the supplier to the customer. You work as a person in between. So you will never see the product. The only thing you are like a store, a showroom of products of the supplier. And you are the person in between, the third party. So if somebody buys from your store, you place the order at the supplier and it goes straight to the customer. And that's in really short what the process is. But why does it got the name it got right now? Now, there are some things we need to take into account. It has some long transport times because the traditional way of dropshipping is mostly from China and there are some transport times. You have a lot of competition, and because some people didn't do it the proper way, it got a bad reputation. But there are also a lot of benefits to it. And I just want to tell this to you because I want to be honest, so you know why it got the name it got right now. Okay, benefits, you don't have stock. What does it mean? You can start with a relative small budget. Just think about it that in the past, let's say 100 years ago, if you wanted to be an entrepreneur, you need to have a storage room, you need to have money, investors, you need to have stock. So much risk from the start. That's over right now. You can start wherever you are with your laptop, wherever you are in the world with a small budget. And that's so easy because you can learn like the principles of marketing, of entrepreneurship, just from your own room. And that's why it's so easy. And that's why it's also so attractive for so many people. All right. And like I said, it goes straight from the supplier to the customer. So the whole process is automated. You don't need to think about that. And what I'm seeing is most of the students we get like new, they don't understand this fully. So they think they need to have certain things they need to do in the process, but everything is automated. So that's so easy about it. And like I said, you are able to work from anywhere. So anywhere in the world, you can work and you can earn profits. So you're not fixed to a specific location. Just imagine how that is for you. You know, I'm also certain you were on your last vacation and you thought, I never wanted to go. But how would it be if that would be your life? Dropshipping gives that opportunity. And I don't want to sell dropshipping to you. I just want to say the facts and how real it is and what is possible. Because, like I said in the beginning, I know what's possible, but many people don't understand that yet. And that's why I feel the responsibility to really tell you that it's possible. So keep that in mind. And then we are going to begin with the real process. Now you know the mindset part, the intro, what dropshipping is. Now we're going to dive into the product research. And why do I start with product research? Because the product research is the backbone of your business. Everything starts with your product. Why is that? Because everything is fixed based on your product, your kind of marketing, your target audience, the kind of ads you're going to put out. So it's very important to know that there's demand for your product. And also because you really need to know your target audience. Who is your customer? You know, you can sell everything, but if you don't know your customer, you will not get any sales because you will not speak the language of the customer. And that is something we are going to dive in. All right, guys, ways of doing product research. There are a lot of different ways to do product research, but still, the best and the most classic one is the Facebook ad library. Many people think that the Facebook ad library is not used that often anymore, and people are using different platforms. But believe me, it's still being used a lot, and we can get a lot of data from here. So don't sleep on this and still use it. I can show it afterwards, but the Facebook ad library is very easy to use. Now, for example, here, you go here, you can type in your country, and let's say you do a 50% discount term. Like this, you will get all kinds of active ads. You can also put them in inactive, but we can always look at the active ads. And now just a matter of searching. Now the 50% discount, but what you are going to do is search for certain keywords. So for example, you go to ChatGPT, you ask what are the best performing niches on the moment for e-commerce stores. You get a row of niches. Then you can ask what are the 10 best keywords per niche. You get a lot of keywords and you can use that to search on the Facebook ad library. In that way, it's very easy to find products. That's the first step. You just need to build up a list of concepts. So first thing to do is make a list of 30 to 50 concepts. Get used to the game of searching. And after that, you can validate them. But the first step is to search for them. The most important thing for you is to first make a list of concepts, 30 to 50 concepts. And from there, you can start to validate. But this is the first step. All right, what do we have after that? Ad spy tools. This is something you see popping up a lot lately. Is spy tools that make it easier for us to do research. And they really benefit us. For example, Minay and Atria. Now, what does Atria do? With Atria, you can really find the ads that brands are advertising actively. And you can see how many of them. And you can see way in the past and how long they're alive. So it's the perfect tool for us to do the research on. So, and of course, we have Google and Temu. Temu is a little bit similar to AliExpress, but there you can find products. You can see how much sales they got, and you can see how much reviews they got. Now, if you see a product that has thousands of sales and thousands of reviews, now it would mean, of course, that there's demand for it. Now, the same thing that we did with Facebook, we can also do with Google. You can search for certain keywords and you will find good stores. Just if you find good stores, note them down, and afterwards you can validate them. Now, how we can validate them, I will tell you more about that for the KPIs. But of course, before we go there, one more thing that's very important, and that is SimilarWeb. SimilarWeb, what does it do? It shows us the amount of visitors a store has in the month. So we can decide based on that if a store, one, they are profitable, and that they can bring people to the store so the ads are engaging enough. All right, now we have some KPIs. How we can decide if a product is validated enough. Of course, we were looking in the Facebook ad library, and let me get an example for you guys. For example, I'm just gonna do something, compression sucks, because I know this is a product where's a lot of demand for. So I get this as an example. Now what we then do, we go to here and we do at least 2 weeks live. Now I know they are live for quite a while. Then for example, I go to Snog. It's one of the first ads I see. Now let's go to their ads. Now what did I say? At least 20 to 30 active ads. Now what do we see? We already see 98. So that means there are a lot of active ads. This means it's enough. SimilarWeb, 40K monthly traffic. Now let's check it out. That's one of the first things I'm encountering. Oh, this is important. You can download the SimilarWeb Chrome app extension, so it's easier for you to use it. Now over here you see 9.2. All right, this is not enough. I must say sometimes SimilarWeb is not accurate and it walks a little bit behind schedule, like behind the data. Here you see a very big growth in 1 month, but it's still not enough. So yeah, that would mean based on this data, we would not test it. But let's just get a different one. Just as an example, same keywords, and you can use a lot of keywords. You can use 50% discounts, bestsellers. You will get a lot of different types of ads, and you can search from that. Now I did a very specific keyword, but you can also use that. You can also use lamp, of chair, or jacket, all those things, or a watch. It can be everything, and based on that you can search. Via Socks, this is also quite a famous sock brand. Let's just open it. They got a lot of active ads, 290. So this is a very big player. Now let's just look at their data over here. Monthly visitors, I'm certain this is not correct. Quite strange that it shows this, but all right. Just for the example, I will continue, but I know for certain they got more active ads than this. But let's go to a different one. I just want to show you how it looks like. Now you see they are using a listicle. A listicle means they show you to a different page. But let's just first go to their ads. 230, all right? This is something I will go over later, but the listicle is like a page in between your product page where you tell more about the product, but it's not what we want to see. We want to look at the amount of visitors. I must say this is a different product, but just so you understand. Now you can see here, they got 251K monthly visitors. That means they are really printing money. That's important to understand. Now this you will do with a lot of products. So you first use the keywords to find products. You make a list, 30 to 50 products. After that, you're going to validate them exactly based on this. And let's say you had this product in your list. You just note it down that it applies for all the KPIs. Okay, it needs to be applicable for a large audience. And what do I mean with that? The TAM, so the total addressable market. For example, the socks. Everybody needs to wear socks, right? And you have a lot of people who have issues with their foot. So a lot of people need compression socks. So this indication that's a large audience. Let's say you are in a market where you are selling yoga stuff. Yoga is a pretty big sport, but let's say it's in a country where you don't have a lot of people doing yoga. It's not that popular. Then the TAM over there is not big. Then would you go for a product that has a lot of demand and where you have a lot of customers for, or a product where that is not so popular in a certain country? Look, you can go to a different country and maybe the TAM there is bigger, but this is just for the example. So you need to make sure that's a thing. A wow effect. A wow effect is also important, but it's a bonus. Because with a wow effect, you can create good content that really shocks the customer and maybe indicates impulse buying. And that's also something that's worth a lot because you can really play around with this content. But it needs to be eventually problem solving, or it needs to be a demand product. So it needs to solve a specific problem. And almost all products, now let's say every product, solves a certain problem. But how big is the problem? How big is the issue? For example, this product is really focusing on trigger finger. So this is for some people a big pain point, as you can see here. Maybe not for you, maybe not for me, but there can be a very specific target audience that has this issue. Now, I don't know exactly how big this audience is, but if it's big enough and the pain is big enough, people are willing to pay for it. So let's say you have this issue, but you have the solution for 30 euros. You don't have a trigger finger anymore, and you can live the way you used to be. Now, then you also would give 30 euro for that, right? So That means the problem is big enough, you have a specific audience for it, and that's very important to decide on your product. All right, okay, that's for the KPIs. What's important to know? You need to be able at least sell the product for 2.5 to 3 times the cost of goods, so you have enough profit margin. Now, I'm certain that this specific product will not be that expensive. So let's see how much they set it for. Check availability. Okay, they set it for $60. Now, that's quite a lot, but a product like this on AliExpress will not cost more than 20, probably. So that means you already have enough margin for this product. I can even imagine that this product is way cheaper than that. So in that case, you have enough margin, and you can even do bundles like you see here and give, for example, a free offering or something like that. So that means that this product until now is quite interesting because you see it already is validated based on our KPIs and we can already sell it for quite a lot. So that can be an interesting thing. Okay, now it's also good to understand the difference between a one product store and a niche store. Let's see, this specific product is a niche store. The only difference is if this was the only product on the store, that means it's a one product store. Now here you can see that there are more issues they solve, more pain points and more items. That is a niche store because the problem is probably a little bit the same. Let's see the sleeves. Yeah, it's all based on issues with the body, like pain points, and they have different products for that. This is a typical niche store. Maybe it can be that this specific competitor begin with the glove and eventually got other products also put on the website because it was working so well. Or what also can be the case is that they begin with the niche store and after that look what kind of product works the best of the store and it was maybe the glove. So there are different ways to try this out. It doesn't mean the one is better than the other one, it's just what works better for you. So you can decide that by trying out. All right, that's it for product research. Now you know how to start. Now you know you can make a list of the 30 to 50 concepts and how to validate them. Eventually, if you do this, you know of the 30 to 50 concepts, which concepts are the most interesting for you to try out. Also take into account if the product is heavy, because we don't want to ship too heavy products, and how big it is. I must say in the beginning, if you don't have experience, smaller items that are light are easier, like the gloves, like the socks. That's why I also showed it as a first example, because the socks is very easy to ship, you know. It can fit in the mailbox, it is not a big package. So these are all also things to take into account. After that, you have a list and you will decide on a concept. Now, what is the next step in the process then? To do competitor research. We need to know the market we are in. All right, what I have here is a document that we call the competitor research sheet. Now, here you can put all the concepts you have. And then after that, you are going to do competitor research. I will get that here. So this is an example. What does it mean? And you can make this also for yourself. So we have the brand, we have the amount of visitors. You can see the top selling countries, price range, what kind of offer they have, how many active ads they have, if they are on Google, because you can also go live on Google and on TikTok, and what kind of shipping method they use. And you have a lot of data, also the team for their store. So what does it mean for us? You have decided on the product. Now we are going to look who are the other players in that market. So what you then can do, you can add a lot of competitors in this niche over here. And eventually you know your whole market. Let me get some examples. For now, I will use the socks. We have the gloves, but there are also a lot of sock competitors that we can put here. Then I will show you after that. So I will do that right now. All right, just for this example, I put 2 good competitors here. I put them here above. That's Compression Sock World. You can see they have a lot of visitors per month. The same is for Wello, also very big brand. Also almost 140k monthly visitors. So we know these are big brands. Now, if you do this, if you keep doing this, for a lot of those compression sock brands, eventually have a whole list of good competitors where you can get your inspiration from. And then we go back to this. And then we are going to see, all right, is the product problem solving enough? Is the demand of a wow effect? The amount of monthly visitors, top selling countries, what is the price range? Offer, amount of active ads on Meta, Google, shipping methods, and store team. Now, as you can see, I put all those things here. you can see that these stores are selling mainly in US. But it's very important because if you see that a lot of people are selling in the US, that will mean it's a competitive market. So that can also mean that maybe it's a good idea to not start there. Or maybe for different concept, it is a good idea to start there, but on a different way, with a different strategy. If you see that all the people are using the same angle, for example. So that also depends. Now you see the price range, you see they mostly work with bundle deals, and that's why it can be quite a high price for these socks. Now they have a lot of active ads live, they're active in Google, and they're using free shipping worldwide. Now this way, we know exactly who our competitor is. So the first step is finding the product, then making a list of all the competitors you can find. So this is something you will do a lot. I now have 2, but if you do this a lot, you keep searching on Google, Facebook, you will have a list. I want to have at least 10 to 15 competitors, and it can be even more if you really search for it. And you do this for all these ways. Now, they have a lot of inspiration you can take from their ads. You know what's working for them, and for example, for their stores. So it is really easy for you to implement them. All right, then the next step, store building. So we have the product right now. We have the competitor research. What's the next step? The store. Now, what's important to know for your store? Get inspiration from big brands. That's very important because did you ever look at websites and just think, yeah, man, this store looks good. You know, I trust this store. It looks like a valid brand. That's the whole thing you also want for your store and your customers. And many people think it's really difficult in the beginning. It don't need to be perfect. You can just get started and from there on out, get better into it and eventually better your store. But it's not that difficult to start and get that feeling for your own store. Yes. Second point, only base everything on data. Leave emotions out of it. You think you know your target audience, but that's not the case. Your target audience think different than you think. And that's why things you like, it doesn't mean that the customer likes it. So take this also into account when you decide on things. And also look at the funnel of your competitors to decide what kind of funnel you want to use. So what do you check on a store? You check how could you improve the store of the competitor if it's maybe not good enough? Or maybe you can find indirect competitors with the same target audience, but maybe a little bit different, just to get the inspiration. So what to check? And after that, why big brands succeed? What do they have? They have a good brand identity. Let's say Coca-Cola, just as an example. They are red, the color red, the letter font. Everything is part of their brand identity. You know, the snowman, everybody knows it. If you can do this the right way for yourself, people really see and identify with the brand as well. Also, they have a lot of authority, social proof, and urgency. These things combined make sure that big brands can succeed. So, how to build the trust? Now, you see here a couple things. Reviews, guarantees, testimonials, statistics, before and afters, comparison, FAQ section, logos, copywriting. I have here example of a good store, and let's just keep this in mind. Of course, there are many good stores, but this store has a lot of these things, so we can take that as a good example. Let me close all this. All right, so keep the things in mind that we have here. Let's just go over this website. Smooch, very nice website. Also focus on a very specific target audience because it's something that's for the lips, to make your lips fuller. Okay, so let's go over the things I was just talking about. First thing first, reviews. They begin here with reviews on the website. Now they have testimonials here, also part of course of the reviews. I think they also have the reviews in between, testimonials in between their pictures. Now here more testimonials. So you see a lot of social proof, here even more, because nowadays people see so many things on the internet, so many ads. But what is working really? Now, with a lot of social proof, you can show them that it's real what you are selling. Okay, after that, guarantees. Now, let's see. Buy one, get one. Free shipping. Here, instantly fuller lips. All right. Shipping and return. Now, it's quite easy to ship it back. Fuller lips on a natural way. Instant result. How it works. So this also something triggers people, you know. They get the result instant. People don't want to wait. People want to see something as soon as possible. Now, it also has guarantee, 100% natural without hormones, vegan, a guaranteed trusted by 100K, ethical. So you see as well, they have a lot of guarantees on their website as well. Now, besides that, testimonials, I already showed you that little is also part of the social proof. Statistics. Now, we all saw that over here. 97% says it makes the lip look fuller. 93% it makes the lip look healthier. 94 said instantly hydrates the lips. So a lot of statistics. Also in their product pictures, you see here the same statistics popping up. Also part of trust. So we already have a lot of these things that you see here on the website, before and afters. People want to see the results. Now you see it here already in this picture. Let's see also before, afters. You see here a lot of them. So people trust it, people see the results, people have the guarantees. So people trust it even faster. Comparison with other brands. Let's see, I already saw this in the ad. Now this is a normal stuff, and then the extreme stuff. Now you see a comparison here. I see it's also from Smooch, but is their extreme version. But here you see comparison why Smooch, other brands. So Smooch is the solution for what other brands don't have. And that is something you need to make sure that your customer gets with your item. You can do this with literally anything. It all depends on the way how you bring it to the customer. All right, FAQ section. So what kind of questions? Because people always have questions with these kinds of products. How to apply. Now they tell here how they can do it, like I use with other products. You need to make sure that all the questions your customer could have are being answered. So that's also your responsibility to understand your customer. And that's also why you need to know your customer so good. So you also know what kind of questions they can ask. And then you can make sure that you put the right answers on your website so they trust you. Logos. With logos, I mean that you mention other brands. Let's see, that is maybe seen in like a magazine or something like that. That is something I don't see with Smooch, but that's because they already have so much other proof that they don't even need it. All right, for example, Flaus. It's also a very good brand. As you can see, they also got a lot of visitors. Very different niche, but I just want to show you what I mean with the logos. So if you go to the homepage, you see, for example, this. But also Opel Daily, Time, so famous magazines, famous programs on TV, over here, famous magazines. This also shows trust. Now, all right, then we go back over here. Copywriting. Yeah, copywriting, I mean the way you talk to your target audience and that you know what kind of pain points they have, what kind of issues they have, maybe trust issues. And like I said, if you know your target audience, you also know what kind of words they're using and what they want to hear. And that's something you need to search out based on your research. All right, I do have a different example here, but I think you already know the idea right now. This Hike Footwear, also very big brand, also knows their target audience so good that they know exactly how to talk to them. I see that is in Dutch, but now what the thing is here, the people who go on Hike Footwear have very specific pains in their foot and they want to have a solution for that. Now what Hike Footwear does, they tell exactly how the shoe fixes the problem and why it solves the problem so that people really trust the website, trust the store and need the shoe. That's what they do. And you see the same principles. You see the reviews, they have the guarantees, they have the urgency because I only have a couple of ones in stock. Oh, summer sale, so only a couple of ones left. Now you see here they get a lot of extra stuff as well. They have, let's see, I saw the before and afters. Now they explain the product perfectly, the before and after, the comparison with the other shoe. So you see all the principles here again, testimonials. So if you understand the principles, you will be able to recognize that with all brands. Also a good exercise for yourself. Check out the stores of good brands and look if you see the same principles. The moment you begin to recognize them, you can also implement them yourself more easy. Now here you see, for example, more the doctor also shows the trust. They really explain the functions of the shoe here and you see a lot of more reviews. So same principles. All right, so that means now we have the product, we have the comparison and the store. So now for your store, what you need to do, you can go to Shopify. There is the link where you can get the first 3 months for €1. So of course it also helps. All right guys, so what did I do? I went to Shopify. I just did the normal settings and I just go over here and with literally 2 clicks, I already got the store. I just went to the website, did new store, and now I'm over here. Now you're in the dashboard of Shopify. Now you already got the principles of what a good store is, and now you can do that yourself on this store. It looks like a lot of things in the beginning, but don't worry about it. It is not important from the start. The first thing is getting a store up and running. Now, you have 3 ways to do this. First thing is build it yourself. Now, you already have the inspiration from the stores. You can start building it yourself. There's a really good app that's called Section Store. It's an app. You can find that over here. Section Store. Now, what does it do? You can buy sections. Let me show you something. Sections is a part of the store, like the scrolling announcement bar. Now this, you can buy this section. Already, basic themes already have certain sections, but if you want specific things, you can buy them here. Let's say this section you can buy from here, and that way you can fill up the website. That's one thing. Or you hire a developer. We have a developer as a partner who is really good in doing exactly what you wishes. So you give the website, you give what kind of sections you want, how you exactly want it, and he can make that for you. So that is the second thing you can do, or you can use a store builder app like Atlas. Atlas AI, there are different store builders, but this is just one of them. It's a pretty good one. What does it do? You just do the settings, and after that, the store is built within minutes. Not exactly the way you want it, but you can later on, of course, fix things. You can add sections, but you have already the basics. So check that out because, nowadays there are so many good tools that you can use that are perfect for this. Very easy to implement. So you have these three options. Make it yourself, hire a developer. Like I said, we have developers in our team. So if you want this, reach out to us, or you can use an app and later on put your own sections to it. But make sure you have all these steps in it to build the trust. Because if you don't have that, there is no trust and people will not buy from your store. All right, now we have the product. We already have the competitor research. We know how to build the store. After that, we are going to look at the moment when we got sales. Now I'm going a little bit in the future because now your store is ready and you are going to make sales. Now, but before that, you need to understand the fulfillment process of dropshipping. So I will take you over it. Let me zoom in a little bit. As you can see here, I've written down the full fulfillment process in 7 steps. And in the beginning, I already told you, the order goes straight from the supplier to the customer. You never see the product. So how does it work? First step, customer places the order. Second step, the supplier sources the product. And this is why a supplier is so good. In the past, we need to source the product ourselves. Now we have one contact person who does everything for us. They source the product and they ship the product. But all right, they source the product for us. You pay the invoice to the supplier because of course the supplier is not going to send it for free. So we pay the supplier and then after that they ship it for us. Step 4, supplier will process the order. This will be within 1 to 5 days. Of course, it's faster than in the past, but still you need to take into account that it takes some days. So also because of that, it's important to have good customer service in place because people want to know where their package is. That is something else. Now we're focusing on the fulfillment process. Step 5 is supplier creates the tracking link and fulfill the order. Step 6, order is out for delivery 5 to 10 days. And step 7, package is delivered between 7 to 15 days. Most of the times, it is between 8 to 12 working days. Now with the weekends, it takes a little bit longer. So these are normal times. So take that into account. Now this is the full process. And we can really take advantage of this process because like I said, we have the agent who helps us. Of course, the best way to work together with the agent is to already do a little bit of research for yourself because the moment the agent is getting profit from us, of course they want to help us the right way and better. But it's also good to show the agent that you are really willing to work also yourself. So do your own research as well. How can you do this? AliExpress, Alibaba, Temu, search by image is also from AliExpress or Google. All right, AliExpress almost holds all the products you're searching for. Now it depends, of course, it's more now about the dropshipping products. All the products you see online, most of them you can source. Are always items you cannot find, but almost everything. So if you did your product research, you did your competitor research, and you see that multiple stores are selling it, most of the times you can find it. So you can already look for suppliers on your own on AliExpress. Also on Alibaba. Alibaba and AliExpress, a little bit the same. Only thing is Alibaba is more for the warehouses, like the B2B. AliExpress is more for the B2C, so really for the consumer. Oh, also a good one I need to put over here is 1688. This is the place where the people, so the agents from AliExpress buy their stuff. So you think sometimes that AliExpress is the manufacturer, but the real manufacturer is from 1688. This is a Chinese website, so you don't understand it, but you can search by image and there you can find the item as well. All right, same for Temu. You can search there as well, because some items you can find on Temu, you can find on AliExpress, so also use that. And search by image AliExpress is a very good Chrome extension as well. All right, search by image is a very good function of AliExpress. If you go to the platform, you can just upload a picture and then the AliExpress will search the item based on the picture. So you don't need to search for it yourself. Maybe you thought that with keywords. No, you can find everything based on the picture. And the same is with Google Lens. So you can put in the picture in Google, just upload it there, and then Google Lens will search all websites where you can find this picture. That way it's very easy to source your products, and it's also very easy to show the agent that you are willing to work. Advantages of an agent. Now I already told you a little bit about this, but you have one-on-one support, and believe me, that's very important, because if you have 10 different suppliers where you need to negotiate, have the contact, pay the invoices, it's not even possible, because to get the overview, that's not easy. But now you have one person that is doing everything for you. Number two, they are specialized. They are specialized in sourcing products. So you don't need to do it yourself. They do it for you. They find the products, they negotiate for you, give you the best prices. So everything is in their power. Because of that, it's easier for you. Network. We don't know anyone in China, but they do. They have a network. They have a network of sourcing, agents, friends, everybody there, manufacturers. It's very easy for them to find something for you. Now, and that also brings me to the fourth point, time saving. It saves a lot of time. Even if it's a little bit more expensive, the time it will give you is worth it. Don't underestimate that and start working with an agent from the start. Now, and also, like I said, a one contact person. Okay, some people don't work with the agent from the start. You have some tools like AutoDS. That is also like an automation for tools. But this way, you still need to do a lot yourself. If you want to work with agents, same thing with developers. We as Marina Commerce have a lot of partners in our network and also a lot of agents. So it's really easy. Just contact us and you will get a good agent. I probably will link as well the onboarding for that in the description, so there you can find that. And it's also easier for you to get started. And then you can use this from the start. And the easy thing as well, you don't pay them beforehand. So there's no fee to use them. You only pay for something if you sell it. So no cost beforehand. Also take it into account. So there is no reason to not begin with this. And why I just keep saying this, because I see a lot of people underestimate the power of having an agent from the start. So I really want to say this again, so you know what's going on as well. So now we have the product, we have the competitor research, we have the store, you know the fulfillment process now and how to work with the agent. And now we go over to the creatives. And the creatives is a very big part of dropshipping and a very important part and also a very fun part. Can you remember when I said a little bit back in the video about your target audience and why you need to understand them and how to talk to them? That is all coming back in the creatives. All right, what are creatives? Creatives are visual and written content in ads to communicate your message and also specifically to your target audience. And that's a very important thing to understand, because if you don't know your target audience, you also will not know what kind of ads you need to use and what kind of language you need to use in your ads. Okay, types of creatives. We have images, we have videos, we have carousels. That means you have different pictures next to each other and you can scroll. And we have user-generated content. For example, on TikTok, you see a lot of those people that are showcasing the product. So let's say my cell phone. This is a cell phone. I have a lot of functions and I'm very happy with it because it changed my life this and this way. That is UGC. Now, these types of creatives we have. So we need to be very creative as well, how we are going to use them. Now, I have some examples here. I must say these are all static images. Now, what's a static? That means it's a picture, like a static picture. We also have, like I said, the videos. That is something else. But why are these images good? For example, here, you can see a little bit what kind of message they are giving. I will showcase this, why they are good, a little bit later on, because now I come to a very important part and what I'm meaning with talking to your target audience. You need to understand your persona. Now, what is your persona? A persona is an example of somebody from your target audience. And what is your target audience? That is something you need to understand because of research. You need to research your customer, and because of that, you can create a persona based on the data you've received. And why is it so important to have a good persona? The connection with your audience. If you know who to target, You know exactly what their pain points are, and you can use that in your message, in your static, for example. You can use it in your video. You know their desires, you know their pain points, and you know what kind of solutions they are searching for. Let's say this persona is somebody who is overweighted, has foot pain, and wants to lose weight fast. Let's say that's the persona. It's somebody of 60 years old that wants to walk, but doesn't do it yet, but is planning to do it. And they just cannot lose weight, even if they're trying so hard. Then they see this ad. I lost 15 lbs in 60 days. It started with a walk. Let's say I'm the person who wants to walk and wants to lose weight. Then this ad is perfect for me. I resonate with the ad. I understand what they are searching for, and I think I need this shoe. This is exactly what I'm searching for. I click the ad and I buy the shoe. That is what I mean. But let's get another one. Let's say I'm somebody who has pain in their foot all the time while walking, but I just don't know how to fix it. Maybe I went to a massage, it doesn't help because it keeps coming back. And then I see walk pain-free with barefoot boots. If I'm the person that wants to have pain-free walks, I just don't know how, then I will resonate with this ad. I will think I need this shoe. And that is what I mean with the right communication. Different version. Also with the compression socks. Let's say my foot are swelling up and I just want to stop it. I don't know how. And then I see this. Can you imagine your foot on the left? That's your foot. And then you see the new me on the right. I'm sold already. I don't want the left foot. I want the right foot. And this ad is very simple, but it showcases exactly my pain point and my solution. And that's what I mean with how to talk to your specific target audience. Now, I have some other examples here, but I will also showcase it later. Now, one more time, a fast one then. I didn't realize how much volume I lost over the years until I got it back. Let's say I'm an older woman. I'm 50 plus, maybe 60 plus. I'm seeing that my lips are getting smaller, but I didn't really realize it. But I don't feel confident anymore about my lips. Then you see this ad. Just imagine it. You see the ad, you see yourself, you recognize yourself on the left, and you see the solution on the right, simply because it's product. You are going to buy it because you resonate exactly with what the language they are talking to you and the picture they are showing you. And that is what I also want for you guys to do. All right, awareness stages. Why personas is also so very important is because there are different awareness stages that you are going to use based on your persona. I already showcased some of the creators above, but they are also using different awareness stages. And what do I mean with that? If you use most aware ad, for example, for somebody who needs a problem aware ad, they're not going to resonate with the ad and they're not going to buy it. So unaware ads are really for people who are not aware of their issue. So you need to learn them what their issue is. So make them aware of it. It's a little bit in between the unaware and the problem aware, because let's say this person walks with pain, but they are not aware there is a solution for it. They don't know that yet. Now walk pain-free with barefoot boots. You give them the realization that they can walk pain-free with the barefoot boots that they didn't have before they saw the ad. So you make them aware of it. This ad here on the right, for example, this is really a problem aware ad because they are aware that they are too heavy and they need to walk. So the problem is there, they just don't know how to solve it. You give the answer. This shoe is the answer for them. And you see, that is the way you can use the awareness stages on your best. Okay, let's go to the next one, solution aware. Let's say the person is already aware from the solution. All right. Imagine they are solution aware, for example. Then you need to compare yourself with others. Why are you better than the other solution? Now you can do this by a comparison. Ordinary wallets, bulky, cards get stuck, heavy. And then we are extra smart wallets. We are slim, easy in card access, lightweight. Now that's an ad you can use, for example, for that. Or for example, if the customer is product aware. Now then you can just give, for example, a testimonial. Why are you good? You know, social proof, for example. Testimonial, hands down the best dry shampoo ever. Okay, maybe people don't know yet which brand they are going to choose, but then they see this ad and they are convinced they go with you. And the most aware, I don't think I have here a specific picture for that. Most aware is easy. People already want to buy it. They want to buy from you as well. You just need to have the last push. They can just do, for example, a discount ad. You just have the product and then only today 50% discount, for example, and then they are convinced because they already wanted it. And that way you can make use of those awareness stages very good. But imagine you are a problem aware customer, for example, this, you know you need to lose weight and it starts with a walk, but then you see an ad like this, only talking about that it's the best shoe, then you don't really resonate with it, because you need to hear the problem and that we are the solution for it before you can resonate with it. So that's why it's so important to understand in which process your customer is, so you can use the best ad for that. And now I'm really talking about statics, but you can also do this in videos. Do you educate the person about the problem? Do you educate how the problem solves the issue? All those things matter. But before you know that, you need to know who your persona is. How do you get that data? You get that by comments. For example, Facebook comments, Amazon reviews, Trustpilot, and Reddit. Now, these are all different platforms where you can get a lot of data from. Now, let's say, I'm just going to show you, for example, Amazon. Let's, for example, go to the compression socks. We have this one. Here you can see a lot of reviews. And also take into account what you see here. 23 people found this helpful. That means of the reviews, people really liked it. People read it and people like it. So they resonate with the review as well. So take it into account, because the more people find it useful, the more we can use it as well. All right, why did you pick this product versus others? Now you see here, they provided exactly the right amount of support and they're comfortable all day. You see already a lot of information that we can use in our ads. Just remember, the person wanted to lose weight. Now, what does this person say? I don't experience them running down my calves. Just as an example, you give a headline for the socks. Do you experience compression socks that roll down from your calves? We can do that because we read that here. And the more of these reviews you get, the easier you understand how your target audience talks. Okay, now we've got a lot of useful reviews here with good stars, but we also need to have bad reviews. Okay, sizing is not accurate. As an example, you can also do always have socks where the size is not accurate. Just as an example, these are also things we can take into account as headliners for our ads. And this way you see that there are thousands and thousands of reviews. And the more you read it, the more you understand your target audience. All right, the same you can do for the Facebook ads, the same you can do for Trustpilot. Now, for example, I had compression sock store Wello. Go to the Trustpilot. What do they say there? Are they happy with the sale? Are they not happy? Same with the Amazon reviews. You have hundreds of reviews there that you can take, that you can read, and all save them in one document. So you have that information in one place. Then also Reddit. Reddit is the one platform people can just talk anonymous, like on and on, be really honest with their opinion, and don't need to be afraid of anybody judging. So people are honest there. Now you can really easy get a lot of information from there. For example, you go to Reddit, compression sucks. Here you see a lot of talking and a lot of votes, a lot of comments. And then you can read what people say about compression sucks. Why they like it, why they don't like it, what kind of failed solutions they got. Now, if you got all these information together, like the Reddit reviews, the Amazon reviews, the ad reviews, Trustpilot, you put them all in separate documents and you go to ChatGPT and you put them all there, then eventually from there on out, you can build your persona. You can ask ChatGPT to build your persona based on all the data you received. And that's exactly what we want to do. Because of that, you have a clear vision of your persona. And if you know the persona, you also know how to talk to them. Now, all right, with this information, we got the angles. And like I said, eventually we can go to ChatGPT. But first thing first, with the angles, okay, we know what the pain points are of the persona. We know what the desires are of the persona. We know what the benefits are, objections, and failed initiatives. So with these angles, we can create ads based on these points. And that's exactly what we want, because now we have a better understanding what our persona wants. And like I said, what they want as a solution. So based on all this data, we can finally know what kind of ads we need to make. That brings me to the last part of launching ads. Now we know where persona is, we know what kind of ads we need to make. Now we are able to launch ads. And we will also showcase a video on the channel about how to launch ads. So I will not do this in this video, but later on you can check that out. But what are we going to do? We have different platforms you can advertise on: Meta, Google, TikTok, Pinterest. I will always, if you are a beginner, always begin with Meta, because it's just the most easy and fast way to get started. It's very easy to make a business account with your own account, and you can just start right away with getting sales. Now, you have different campaigns type. You have a CBO, you have an ABO. CBO, you give Facebook more the opportunity to just do their thing with your budget. And the ABO is you are more in power of where the budget goes to. But like I said, we will showcase this in a different video, but this is the last part of the process. All right, so let me summarize it one more time. Now, you know what kind of mindset you need to have and what you need to be willing to do to get to success. You understand what dropshipping is. You know how to do product research. You know how to do competitor research. You know how to build your store. You know the fulfillment process. You know how to make creatives and how to build your persona. And you know how to launch ads. And from here on out, it's just optimizing. So scaling, killing, and repeating this process all the time and get better in it. But like I said, if you keep doing this, you now know the process. If you keep doing this, keep learning, keep getting better at all these processes and steps, there is no way you will not succeed. Because the people who are willingly going on and are willing to put in the effort, there is no way you are not able to get the results. Because this business model works. Whatever people are saying about it doesn't matter, because you need to be the own judge of this. So I gave you the tools to try it out. Now it's up to you to make the first step. So I'm wishing you the best of luck. And I'm really hoping you take this serious and you're going to take action. Like I said, I gave you already some action points. Also, let me know if it worked for you, because I'm really happy to help you. And I really want to hear if I can help the others with this process. So with that being said, I wish you the best of luck and I hope to see you soon in a different video. Thank you for watching, guys, and I see you in the next video.